starting to take back everything I ever said about strippers, because
That doesn't sound right.
I'm sweating my brains out, and I don't feel like this was very effective. Hey, I'm Margie with The Asking Spot. This is where I'm always asking, can I keep something from a landfill? And I'm your host for this challenge. It's the Patio Furniture Flip Challenge. And for me, the operative word is challenge. The inspiration was I got commission work, which was great. I ran into a lot of problems, and a lot of the things, well, just didn't work. Let's go ahead and roll it. Not only is this beginning stage fun, it's actually kind of necessary. That was going pretty successfully, and I followed it up with a bit of just the jet stream on my hose, and I took off some more. But after that, things didn't go so well. I've got the tarp clamped up, the pieces out. This is my husband's new baby, and this is mine. I did not get the one with the uptake, and I wish I had.
Spoilers.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a painful blowback when you use one of these things. Oh yeah, and as far as that love seat's concerned, a whole nother set of headaches came with that. It's actually going to get its own video later, so you might want to subscribe to see how that turned out. But in the meantime, I'm working on back to trying the original, Bistro set, because hey, that was coming off just by peeling it. This should work, right? Yeah, not so much. You can see clearly there's a lot of walnut shells in the ground, and I had to keep refilling that sandblaster. So I thought, well, all right, maybe I will try baking soda. Another eco-friendly, supposed to work. So let's give that a shot.
Lady, where's my spy camera?
My apologies on the camera angle, but now you can kind of see where it is working a little bit on the powder coat, but it's not doing anything to the enamel. However, though, it gave me promise that this might be useful for, say, a future project that isn't metal.
Another ringing endorsement.
All right, let's do a quick takeaway. I am feeling totally disgusting. I have just finished, not finished, still am wiping off walnut shells. And that was, with these. So takeaway number one, if you got a safety visor, that would be better. If you can get one of those hole-on hoods, totally would be better. Do not get this line. It's not that this sandblaster or whatever it is, it's not that it's that bad. It's that I went ahead and got the one that's just directly from the hopper.
Because you're so cheap.
Because, yes, the other one was slightly more expensive. That would have had an uptake. And that probably would have saved me some of the stress, because if I had an uptake, I could have put it directly to my walnut shell bag, and then I wouldn't have to refill, and that might not have been as stressful. But that being said, there's a good bunch of area on this stuff that I feel like I just embedded walnut shells into paint, and I didn't really get much paint off. The baking soda, I knew it wouldn't necessarily work on the paint, but I wanted to try it on the dusty parts, and that's not bad. Am I gonna just chalk this up to worthless? Not completely, because I do think in a future project, maybe with a piece of furniture, I could use it for the baking soda purposes and try to get really light shellac off that I could probably scrape off. We're spraying this thing. I'm just gonna make sure I have it sanded really well so everything feels texturally smooth and there's nothing chipping off. And that's what I'm gonna go with. I can't believe this. I just got to the point where I was desperate and I thought, I'm gonna try this. Check it out. Now, ordinarily, I'm not one to take pieces apart, but you know, sometimes you just have to. So, sanding. Now, the amount of money I'm going to be able to charge for this is rapidly going down because, yeah, 40 grit sandpaper I'm using on this, and it did great for getting the big chunky parts out of the easily accessible. But then there was so much trying to get in between spots that in this heat, yeah, it didn't do it that well. But, you know, it's going back outside and it's going to get loads of paint. So basically, where there was rust, there has been a spray of this. And I know, looking at these, you're like, it's a lot of rust. Well, that's because there was. And I didn't want to take any chances. Now, before I start putting my color coat, I'm going to start doing a primer with this. And the reason I'm using this is the idea that if it is indeed flexible, this sits in the sun and gets so hot, and then at night it cools down. So there's that constant expansion and contraction. I'm hoping that this will help with that.
Spray, spruce, spritz.
And now I'm going to put this. It should give it the best protection.
15 minutes later.
Okay, let's move you over there. Ta-da! All right, to make it in time for this video, I haven't quite finished this piece. I mean, it's good as is, but I was planning on adding some copper accents. So you might want to click subscribe, because when I get to the love seat in the next video, I'll also pop in some final copper accent pieces as well there. But in the meantime, if you could give a thumbs up, because this is where we started. And we're going to take a look at where we ended up. I do also really want to encourage you to watch my fellow YouTubers, and I want to thank them for participating in this patio furniture flip challenge. And thank you so much for watching The Asking Spot. And I am the place where these pieces, here are the, even this is a challenge.